All right, so tell me what's the problem.
Yeah, man. So I don't know what's wrong with these girls, man, but they just keep asking me to dance bachata, and they know I'm Salsa Steve, you know. So like, they know I'm self-conscious about my bachata, but they keep doing it.
All right, well, listen, I think I have someone that can help you out with this problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, Salsa Steve, going on adventures that you won't believe. Been around the world and back again. Don't miss, make sure that you're tuning in. Yeah, hey, good food, good times. Too much fun, so we can't slow down. Got that vibe, he bring that sauce. On the next flight, and we about to take off.
All right, guys. So we are here with Ataca Y La Alemana.
Hi.
Hi.
So what's up, guys?
How are you?
Happy to be back in San Antonio, man.
Nice. You been here before?
It's been a while.
It's been like 5 years, I think.
I think it's been over 5 years that we've been back. It's not that we haven't been wanting to be here. It's just the schedule's just kind of a lot tighter, and then we just really couldn't coordinate. I've been in contact with Lee and Omero for like a long time. I'm just really happy that this time around we were able to actually make something happen. So we love Texas. We love San Antonio. We love Houston. We love everybody. You know, we're gonna definitely put that as a priority. Kind of try and come back to Texas a little more often.
Yeah, you guys have been going more international lately, right?
Yeah, that's basically the majority of our traveling is international.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for a while we did we normally would be stationed in like Florida or New York or something, and we would go internationally for 1 weekend and then come back home. And we did that for like 6 years, and then finally like, nah, let's stay over for like 2 weeks. Come back, and now I'm like, no, I want to work in the U.S.
Yeah, when we
it doesn't exist.
Well, I remember when we first started. Actually, we did long tours. We were like, let's just go, because you know, since we were starting off, we needed to kind of help. You know, some of these promoters didn't really know who we were, so they're just all, you know, the extraño. They saw some of our other videos, so. We needed to do these long tours. So I remember we did like month and a half tours, but that was so we can get our name out there. We did that for about 2 years, but then that's when we were like, now we miss kind of being at home. And that's when we started doing the weekends, the 1 weekend back. And then we were like, that's not going to work out. So we had to be very strategic with our tours, you know, doing 2-week tours and then coming back, or a 3-week tour. So we're just trying to find the balance.
Okay. All right. So let's go into the beginning.
Let's do it.
How far back you want to go?
Alright, so you were 5.
So when your parents had introverts and mistakenly had you.
So you were born on what day? So that means your parents had intercourse.
We're just tying that in.
Let's go back to Ataca's first, or Alemana's first bachata lesson. I got 2 people in here, so don't kill me, guys.
There you go. Well, bachata, I don't think I ever actually had like a lesson. Like I never went to class for bachata. The only class I really took was salsa. But the thing is, when I moved from Germany and then I grew up in Florida, my best friend's Puerto Rican. And so I've known her since we were 10 years old, and I would go to like the house parties, and they would have salsa, merengue, bachata. I didn't know what it was. We just kind of like jammed out to it. So I kind of knew all that stuff. The street style, the family home style.
The home style.
Since I was 10.
That's one thing
That's
I like.
the best.
That's the best, dude.
But yeah, then
home style. I feel like I hear that. I'm just thinking about food. I'm like, home style. Like,
yes. Food and dancing.
That's it.
But then like actual, once obviously I get to clubbing age, and then once I started taking salsa classes, then bachata was obviously in the nightclubs as well, and just kind of like picked that up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was fun.
And this was in Fort Myers.
Yeah, Fort Myers.
Dog City.
The worst city on the planet.
You remember that? Bro.
It's Fort Myers is the most ghetto.
Yeah.
Sorry, but anybody who's from Fort Myers knows that it's ghetto.
I ain't from there, so I don't know.
I ain't from there. I just passed through.
It's such a country ghetto.
I mean, it doesn't sound like Fort Myers. Sounds like there's such a chill, relaxed name.
It does.
It's
There's a lot of retirement places. Then you got Sanibel down the street.
Yeah.
And San Marcos.
But if you're like from Fort just the way you say it, Fort Myers. Fort Myers. It's a little. There's nothing to do.
It's a little.
It's a little.
Oh, the hook coming out.
The only good thing was Fort Myers Beach for like spring break. We were like, Fort Myers Beach was like one of the top spring break beaches for a long time. It was the dirtiest, but
That's the most hood I felt like I've ever really seen you. Like you were like,
Oh.
I was like, I'm a little scared right now. I'm like, man, Tanya, Fort Myers hood is coming out.
I thought I had the tattoos, dog.
So yes, that's where I landed. Fort Myers.
That's awesome.
Cape Coral, Fort Myers.
All right, and I mean, in your bio it said you met Neri Garcia there.
Yeah, I did. I actually used to be a go-go dancer.
A go-go dancer? Okay.
Yeah, I was doing the night.
What is a go-go dancer?
It's those girls that you see at the cages and on the
Oh,
speakers,
okay,
and then
okay.
I mean, in Fort Myers we weren't that fancy, so it was like a speaker that I was dancing on.
Bro.
It's true. I had my phases.
Make her in a four.
Everyone does. Everyone
It was
does.
a cage. It was just I was on top of the not even the speaker, the woofer thing, the big boxes. That's what I was dancing on. It was
Dope.
very dangerous.
It sounds dangerous.
No, but I used to do like hip hop nights, and then one of the promoters asked me to do a Latin night, and I'm like, all right, I'll do it. And then I saw Neri and his partner Judy at the time. They were dancing, and they were doing LA style salsa, and I was like, I gotta do that. So
Yeah, I did.
that's how it started.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. And
So I think I like the home style. Home style was a cool term. So I learned home style dancing from my mother. So my mom is one of 12 kids, and all of them are very much into music somehow or another, either singing but nothing professionally. Just music came from that side. So she was the one that really kind of like taught us like the street style, like little, like the little back rock, little cumbia step or whatever.
Okay.
But I don't really ever remember my mom ever teaching us bachata. It was more just kind of like salsa and stuff like that. So bachata was never anything I really took a class for. It was just something I saw people do in the clubs or whatever, and I just adapted to it. Like, the 1 2 3 tap, 1 2 3 tap. It was cool.
that's the best way, man.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Because you're such when you're like a beginner in there, you're like,
Yeah, well, I saw it and I was like, that's kind of cool.
figure that out.
what he doing?
Yeah, and I think that's what
You're
it
like
was.
so interested. You're like, whoa, that guy could move.
And that's what it was.
Like hand, dog.
But I'll be honest with you, whenever I saw anyone do bachata, it wasn't anything ever that was like super flashy. It was just more like, I just saw that connection. Like, it was just like the couples and everyone just kind of vibing out. I was like, oh, that's cute or whatever.
Yeah.
But I never really focused on that. I was focusing on salsa. And bachata really honestly didn't come into play until I met Tanya, because I was doing salsa. I was focusing on that. I wanted to be a salsa, dancer. And then when Tanya and I partnered up, we were trying to build a salsa choreography to kind of get ourselves out there, and it was just a mess of a choreography. Like, it was like the worst.
We were really honest with this because we could have done it.
It
but
was
we were
the
very
worst.
honest with ourselves. We're like, this ain't gonna work.
It was the worst 40 seconds ever. I was like, this is whack, bro.
The whole 40
Yeah,
seconds,
it
dog.
was
Dude, we came
not.
out with 40 seconds. I was like,
Like-
this is gonna essentially hurt us if we put it out there. So,
So good publicity.
Yeah.
No, that's not this type of situation, dog.
That would have hurt us a lot. So Tanya's best friend at the time, she had mentioned, yo, you guys dance bachata socially really well, and we did. We were like just two people that really liked each other, and so when we danced, we were like cute, and we're like, oh, puppy love and stuff like that. But we vibed it. It was just cool. And we adapted the salsa stuff into that style. So that's what she was like, yo, why don't you guys do a bachata routine? You guys do bachata. And I was like, at that point, we were open to everything. We were just like, hey, if that's what's going to help us out, let's do it. So we sat down, we tried coming up with different, first off, it was a song. I was like, what song are we going to do? And Te Extraño was a song that at that point kind of was becoming popular. For instance, they had a Te Extraño, a traditional style one, and then we had just heard the R&B version. Okay. That Extreme had just launched it, and we were like, dude, this song's kind of dope. We saw, that's the song. And style-wise, we went on YouTube. I remember we typed in Caribbean style bachata, and if you type it in right now, you'll find it. There was like a DVD from Curaçao.
Was it DVD?
Well, it was like not a DVD. It was like it was
DVD or VHS?
I think they were selling classes. We saw it, and they did little steps. It was the little pasitos, and we were like, dude, we like it. So we have the salsa turn patterns. We like this little footwork, and that's it. We came up with a bachata routine. And again, no intentions whatsoever. We just wanted to post it to get people to be like, okay, Ataca Y La Alemana. But we were still going to be a salsa couple.
Okay.
And
you just wanted to get some hype out.
Yeah, we just wanted to show that it was a new partnership.
Oh, yeah.
But we had to do that choreography, but because to get into the event, which was a salsa heat social in Orlando, we needed a choreography. So we were like, all right, we'll give you a bachata choreography, but let us do a salsa social dance, like a demo. And we put more emphasis on the salsa social dance. And we did both things that night, and then when we posted both videos, within a month, the bachata video just kind of grew, and then it just left the salsa social dance behind.
We're like, what the hell?
We're like, no, look at this one. And this one started growing, and then that's it. That's when we were just like, it looks like we just found our acting. Yeah. And that's when, so essentially, going back to your question, like, we really didn't take bachata classes. It was just something that it evolved into our style based off of the training that we had in salsa and her background in ballroom. And that was it. We just kind of created our style and just went loose.
All right. That's really neat. So you just chased it as soon as you saw that it worked.
Yeah, I mean, and we tell people all the time, we were never the first. There were videos out there, there were performances, there were people teaching bachata way before us. It was just it was our style. It was what worked for us. Me being Puerto Rican, her, being German and black, but also being very much a part of a Puerto Rican culture because of her best friend. It was just what worked for us. We were like, well, bachata, we saw some videos, some turn patterns, some footwork, connection, that vibe, musicality. I was like, boom. That's our style. Let's go with it. And obviously it worked because we did just that in Te Extraño, and that's what people liked. So as soon as we saw Te Extraño work, we said we have to go off of this. We have to build off of what we did in this video. Gotcha. So connection, musicality, turn patterns, and footwork. And that's good.
Okay, so you kind of used what you saw in that video. You're like, oh, we had these components. So
for sure.
Let's continue trying to do this as like our core rule.
Yeah, 100%. And when we started teaching, that was exactly what we did. We just said, okay, some footwork, some turn patterns, and then the connection was just always organic. It was just we just had that. So we didn't have to force that. People were obviously, they just saw that naturally. And then the musicality was definitely one thing that we just had to grow into it. It was just more just listening to music. I was drawn to strings at a very, very early age. I just loved guitars, man. Like, it said from Puerto Rico doing the barrandas, the cuatro, like just the strings just made me, just made me feel a certain type of way. So bachata, when I heard the requinto, I was hooked. I was like, bro, this is for me. I love this.
Okay.
So I started with the guitars, and then we started working into all the other instruments, and then educating ourselves as well. And that was it, man. We just basically created two little monsters, and we just loved it. We loved the music.
Okay, I like that. Where did the name Ataca come from? I can understand Alemana.
It's funny. You say that, but most people still ask, like, why Alemana? I was like, she's like, because I'm German.
That's true. I was going to be like, hey, you got kind of dark.
You're a little chocolatey to be German.
You're a little Dominican.
I'll take it.
Yeah, hers was obviously very easy because I think that was what, people kept asking you what you were, and
no, what happened was with my name, when I was still dancing with Neri, we would go down to Miami and dance at a social called Born to Salsa. I don't know if they still do it, but back then it was like the place to go. BTS, Born to Salsa. And there was two guys, they were twins, Mexican guys, and they were awesome. They were like some of our best friends that we met in the dance scene, and they're the ones that called me, Ayo, Aleman. Like, that's all they would call me. Instead of Tanya, they would say Alemana.
Oh, that's a Latino thing.
Yeah, that's how the name just kind of stuck. And then in the short and the few videos that are online of me and Neri, my name, Alemana, is in the video. I'm like, well, I'll just use the name. It's already on YouTube.
Latinos do that a lot. My dad has green eyes. El Gato. That's his nickname.
Oh, cool.
El Gato. Oh. Con el gato. Yeah, that's what they call.
Hey, you guys are good with nicknames.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like a thing.
Mine happened really strangely because I was on a salsa team in Tampa, and the song that we were learning was I think it was the It was Truco Tru, which is a song. I don't remember the artist because there was different versions of it. Like Truco Tru Do Do, like something like that. And in that version, whoever that artist was, the singer, he yelled out, "Ataca, Georgie, Ataca." And I don't know, so obviously one of the instrumentalists his name was probably George or Georgie. So whenever that section came in, all my team members always be like, "Ataca, Georgie, Ataca," because I was in the front of the group, and it was like a footwork section. Okay. So we were able to turn up. So Ataca Georgie started from that. People were just like, "Ataca Georgie," and then I was like, okay, I'll just use Ataca Georgie. So initially, when we first started, it was Ataca Georgie.
Ataca Y La Alemana.
Exactly. So, and I remember...
And we became adults.
I remember...
And we grew up.
You know what's so funny? I remember seeing some of our older videos where I was like, "Yo, what's up? It's Ataca Georgie." And I was like...
Yeah, but you were like 23.
I know. And then...
Ataca Georgie now, dog. Yo, follow me on the ground.
No, I remember... I was so...
MySpace.
MySpace,
I was so wild, bro.
No, you were young. That was your name.
So then eventually, it was just one of those things where, I just kind of took Georgie out. And it was just people... And honestly, I think it was organically people started just saying, "Ataca, what's up, Ataca?" And I was like, that's cool. It has a cool little ring. And
it's short and sweet.
That's it. It just
I like the A&A.
I
like things like that. Salsa Steve.
No, 100%. That's us. So that's how Ataca came from, and then we just took Georgie out, and Ataca Y La Alemana.
All right, dude. Tell me some fun facts about yourselves.
Ooh, shit.
Let's say something not dance related.
Something not dance related. Fun fact.
I mean, most people. The fun fact is, before I even started dancing, my life and what I wanted to do was play baseball. I wanted to be a professional athlete. I was playing baseball since I was 5 years old.
Puerto Rican, right?
Puerto Rican. Okay. So my mom
makes sense. Makes sense.
So my mom
like a Puerto Rican Dominican thing. Baseball.
No, straight up.
Baseball.
Straight up.
Sammy Sosa.
My mom actually played college softball.
Oh, really?
So my
cool.
mom got me into baseball at a really early age.
She's athletic one in the family.
She's So when I moved from Puerto Rico to the States, she was the one taking me to baseball practice and stuff. So that was my life. I went to high school. I played through. I got recruited. Went to college on a baseball scholarship. Played my baseball.
Oh wow, okay.
So I got my degree.
Yeah, you were serious.
I was super serious. And
you're like, I'm going pro,
100%. That was my life. And honestly, I was good. And I did well. It was just, I had to also be very realistic with myself, like my size and this and that. So I had the tools, but I wasn't amazing at one or more of them, right? So
for sports, dude, to be in that top 1%,
I feel you.
Those guys are some next level dudes, dude.
So, my fun fact is I played, collegiate baseball. And then I think that's helped my dancing out tremendously. So that's something a little for fun fact. Alemana?
I don't have fun facts. My fun facts, most people say, well, now, but I used to just, fun fact, I only sang in the shower. I like doing, things with my hands. I like doing crafting. So, I was into making, jewelry for a while, and I went through a nail polish phase, so I was always doing nail polish. I know how to do, fun fact, I know how to do fake nails.
Damn.
I have my own Dremel at home, acrylics.
Nice.
I'm a nail technician.
Hey. I think your fun fact is something that you've kind of discovered about yourself recently when it comes to the traveling and what people assume of you, but you really
Oh, thanks, babe.
I got you.
Fun fact, I'm actually more of an introvert type person. A lot of people might think I'm super outgoing, and the thing is what I've learned is I can be shy, but the thing is what makes me an introvert is when I go out, for example, when he goes out, he can go out and party. Oh, sorry, babe. He can go out and party and gets a lot of energy from other people, and that's his thing. I can go out, but then I will just leave and not tell anybody because it's just exhausting. Yeah. So, and we found that out with the traveling is I love meeting people and I love talking to people, but after that I gotta go and just be by myself. And that's one thing we've learned in our relationship too, because he likes to be around people, and it took us a while to figure out.
Like honestly, that's why I bring it up.
How can you not want to be around me? I'm like, I don't know. I just need my own time.
Yeah, and that's why I bring it up because I think it's important, you know, for the world to know too. Is like because people assume that about me. I'm an extrovert. Like I like to go out. I don't like to be at home too often.
Okay.
You know, I'll be at home for like a day and then I'll just get really antsy. And I have I have my boys at home where we like to go out. One of my boys is a club promoter. I like that ambiance. I like being out, like being at the bar and just the music. I just
like that too.
I like
I'm a machine, dude. Dude, I talk to Lee all the time, man. It's like, dude, I can't be in the house too long. I need to be out with people. That's one of my favorite things about salsa dance. It's just the atmosphere.
For sure.
The atmosphere, dude. It's just like, oh, they're just happy people trying to dance, you know? It's like,
for sure. And I
vibe that.
And I like that, but I assumed that of her. Because remember, you have to remember when I met her, when I remember she was a go-go dancer, like she was in that scene. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, they're just like me. And it really did take time to kind of get that out and find out, oh wow, Tanya's actually an introvert. Yeah. Tanya, you know, when a lot of people...
I like going out, but not every night. Like, he can go out 3 or 4 nights a week, like, in a row and be fine. Not that he does, but I'm just saying, like, that's his capability. Sure. Mm-hmm. I can only do one night.
Yeah, Tanya's a homebody. Tanya really is a homebody. She likes to be at home. I like to be out and yeah. So that's a fun fact, y'all. Extrovert, introvert, homebody, let's party.
Homebody, let's party.
All right, let's talk about InTouch.
Okay,
How did that come about?
So that was actually so myself and ElTigueremambo, Rudy Lopez. So we started the company. We another fun fact. When I graduated college, I decided to pursue dance, and when I went into dance, I was teaching in Tampa, but I just wanted to make some extra funds on the side. So Rudy was when I say Rudy, it's Tigre. That's his real name.
Dude, actually, when you said it earlier, I'm like, Rudy. You know what this is, bro.
You're going through all the things.
Think.
They always hang out with Tigre. Is that his real name?
Yeah. So Rudy Lopez is ElTigueremambo.
His legal name is Rudy.
That's so funny.
So he was a vice president for a mortgage company in Tampa, and he brought me in as like a associate loan officer. So I did that for about 6 or 7 months, and then the market crashed. He called me into his office, and he was like, "Yo, listen, we're probably about to get laid off. This is crazy. What do you think about going into, let's do our own dance thing? You be the dance guy, artistic guy, I'll be the business guy, marketing guy." And I was like, let's do it. So in that office, at that moment, we said, let's come up with a name. So him being Dominican and Puerto Rican, me being Puerto Rican, we thought island, Caribbean, cool island. How, touch, feel, this, that. I was like, Island Touch, I like that. And then we didn't want to be a salsa company, because even though we were salseros, we're like, let's just be neutral. Let's think future, long-term dance. Island Touch dance.
I love that sound.
And then we didn't want studio. We were like academy, because academy doesn't necessarily have to be a location. It could just be in general. We're going to teach the world, which is what we wanted to do. Island Touch Dance Academy. Okay. And Island Touch Island Touch started off as a contracted instructor service, where basically we were Island Touch, Salsa con Fuego, Salsa Fiebre, Salsa this, whatever these dance companies, they hired Island Touch, and we went into their studio and taught as them. Mm-hmm. So I could have
a substitute teacher.
I was a substitute teacher. So I would come in. I wouldn't represent Island Touch in their studio, I represent them, but now people contracted me. Mm-hmm. The problem is, while we were doing that, there was a demand for like our own classes with Tanya and stuff like that, and that was it. At that point, we took that contracted service out, and we just said, look, let's have our own studio.
That's a really cool pivot, though. Like, it's at first you had this business idea, and then you were like, all right, this is starting to, help.
Well, at that point, remember,
to a different
so the
structure.
The pivot started when I met her.
Oh, okay.
So when her and I started going out together in Tampa, mm-hmm. People started seeing us as a couple, and that's what they wanted. They were like, "Dude, I like this connection. I want to take classes from that couple." Mm-hmm. I never expected that. I never really foresaw that. I remember initially it was just me and Rudy. So Rudy was all like, all right, you can go there, I'll go here. And then we could just do these classes. I would just dance with random people. While we were doing that, sometimes with those contracted services, I bring Tanya as my assistant. And then people were just like, what's going on here? Like, something's happening here. And then that's when her and I started partnering up, and the demand for us to have our own classes was just too high.
Okay.
So that's when that pivot had to happen. We were like, all right, let's start our own dance studio, our own dance classes, and that's when InTouch Dance Studio happened in Tampa, and that's when we started teaching classes. So that's where InTouch came from.
So that's in Tampa.
That was in
Are
Tampa.
you guys part of the Tampa Bachata Salsa Festival?
Yeah,
right?
so we have
our
we have our 3 festivals. Anyone can find out about that at InTouch, and basically InTouchEvents.com. That's where you can find the 3 events that we currently do, which is Tampa Salsa Bachata Festival, Chicago Salsa Bachata Festival, and now revamped Bachata, which is in the Dominican Republic.
You know what? Talk to Brian, dude. I don't know. Brian came in here, dude. He's like, bro, that was the most lit festival.
Yeah, Bachata.
That's
bro,
intense, bro.
Back in the day.
Best thing ever, man. Like, out of all festivals, if you like to party, bro,
Yeah.
he's like, Bachata.
Yeah, we were just really fortunate to, you know, with Bachata, what happened was we started off super, super strong, bachata, and then we tried to restructure it by adding different styles, salsa, you know, kizomba, etc., etc. Then from there, we tried changing it and taking it to Punta Cana, which was a little bit more commercial, this and that. And then we just realized that was not the right formula. We needed to go back to the basics. So we took 1 year off, and we brought it right back to Boca Chica, right back to Santo Domingo, and we're going to go hardcore with bachata. Because that's what people miss. They wanted that.
I would be like, go to Dominican Republic.
Nah, listen, you were invited, brother.
Yeah, to come.
dude.
Bachata Steve, let's go.
Working on it. You got Alemana here. She gotta help me out.
By the way, he did amazing today. He took our class today here in Seminaire, and he killed it. He was doing his thing.
He's lying. It was tough.
He did his thing.
We learned about the 4 quadrants, how to reverse all your moves, and then reverse them again.
Reverse.
Flip it on him.
I don't know. Might be on his website on there somewhere. I don't know. Look it up. Take his class. All right. Let's talk about Grupo Extra and the singing. I saw it on your gram. I was combing through. I was like,
Sure.
These people are singing. I was like, what? When did this happen? How did that come about?
You want to take it? Or you want?
No, you go for it, babe.
So this was actually so for those of you that don't know, so Rudy Lopez and Tigre, before he started any of this, when he was like younger, he actually was a rapper back in New York. He was in Rochester, New York.
Rudy?
Yeah.
He was a rapper.
He was a rapper.
Gangster?
Rapper. Like.
In Rochester was pretty hood, so.
Okay. So he had flow. He was
See
open.
where all the bachata people are coming from. all but the bachata crew.
All the good ones are coming out of the hood.
Oh man.
So this is obviously before we knew him, but this was his background. That's what he was doing. He was rapping, and long story short, full circle. When we came out to the dancing, he was very much into the music, which is why he got into DJing. He was like, "Oh, I want to DJ." But about 3 years ago, Rudy was like, "Dude, I would love to see you two do like a Monchi and Alexandra type of bachata." Which, you know, Monchi and Alexandra were the epitome of like that couple. People just fell in love with those two. And I was like, bro, that's actually a really dope thing. But newsflash, we're not singers. And that's when he educated me on, well, you guys don't technically have to be amazing singers. One, you can train to be singers and just sound good enough for people to relate to it. But the reality is what people want to see is just you two loving each other. I was like, well, I'm down. But we left the idea there. And then, you know, two years later, I remember I was like, you know what? Let me hit up some artists. So I hit up Danny J, Kelvin Cosmos, and some other people. Kelvin Cosmos was the first to kind of come back and be like, yo, let's do a collabo, which is what happened with Calma. So Calma happened where it was just, we just jumped on the track. You know, a couple vocals of me, a couple vocals of Tanya. So that was our first experience on having to get into a studio and sing some vocals. Okay. That was when we first realized we had some range, like we have some potential. So Calma came out, but what I didn't know was that while all that was happening, Rudy was actually already talking to Grupo Extra on the back end.
Okay, gotcha.
So what they were talking about was doing what we were doing. So as soon as Calma came out, Fidel from Grupo Extra was like, that's it, we're gonna do this, let's go. And that's when the idea came out to do the Grupo Extra collabo. So right now, we just launched it. It's basically it's called it's Bachata Time,
That's what the EP's called?
That's what the EP is called. It's Bachata Time. It's a 6-song EP. Okay. It's actually 7 full songs, but one of the songs is a cover. Okay. So that's not going to be in the EP. Grupo Extra Touch is what we're calling the group. Okay. And this was an amazing experience, man. Like we went to the DR, we worked directly with the guys. And, you know, to me, I know I always say it, but, you know, she was the biggest surprise because me and Rudy speak Spanish and we're now singing in Spanish. Me and Rudy kind of dabbled in some of the rapping and some of the singing. So Rudy was more the rapper, singer, so you like Tony Santana, and then I did more of the vocals and a little bit of rapping. And then Tanya just came in vocals, and she just killed it. Like Drake, dog. Well, first off, first off, she surprised everyone because no one really had any expectations because we didn't know how she was gonna go with the pronunciation. Gotcha. And as soon as like Fidel and the Grupo Extra like heard her hit her first notes, they were like, whoa. Let's go back. So Tanya is heavy part in a majority of the songs. Okay. And she's singing in Spanish. She sounds great. So, you know, to answer your question, yes, it's a really, really special project for us. We love Grupo Extra. We truly believe that they're one of the best bachata groups on the planet right now. They're amazing. First off, they're amazing talented people. Number 1. 2, they're super talented. So yeah, man, Volvió is our first single. It just came out like a couple days ago. Next Friday we're putting out all the rest of the songs, and then Chicago, our festival, we're gonna be debuting the world debut of Grupo Extra Touch, where we're gonna be singing live.
Oh, you're gonna be singing live?
Yeah, like for real. Not like Britney Spears, Milli Vanilli type situation. Like this shit's gonna be coming out of our mouth.
Oh wow, where are you guys gonna be doing that at?
In Chicago at our festival.
At CSBF in April. I think it's the second weekend of April. Yeah.
So we'll be debuting the actual live concert of Grupo Extra and InTouch together. Those 6
Friday
songs,
night.
those 7 songs.
Oh wow!
It's exciting.
So that's scary. So that's the new venture for us.
Oh, it was
just
something
something new for us, something to try out. The reason to do it, one, is we wanted to try something else because remember, you know, music is super important in what we do as dancers. Correct. So one, we want to just kind of put our taste as what we, you know, some good music, some, you know, music that we like, and 2, I think also, you know, we want to continue. You know, we're still providing really good, dope social dances. So we're like, hey, maybe we could make some side money. Yeah. And, you know, do dance videos to our own music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still listen. Romeo's still my favorite. I still dance to some of the stuff. But unfortunately, if I dance something that's Romeo, like, I'm not going to reap any benefits monetarily, right? But, you know, I'll still get views.
Or the video gets muted or something.
Yeah, right. Or his team says, no, you can't dance to it, which has happened. So we were like, to avoid any of these issues online with like rights to music and stuff, we're like, let's just own the rights to our own music and dance to our own music.
Damn, that's really cool. I mean, I run into that issue when I do my vlogs. Dude, if I take a video at any Congress, block. Yeah.
For sure.
Instantly. Unless I do it to like a live band.
Yeah, man.
That's my little hack.
Yeah.
Live bands.
Live bands. Even though they play for like 20 minutes sometimes.
No, and we don't ever really think about that. And it's now been happening heavy where people will post videos and it'll get blocked, muted, or taken down. And people are still trying to figure out, well, how do I kind of beat the system? And the only way to beat it is to own the rights to that song. Yeah. Okay. So we said, okay, so to avoid getting videos blocked, own your own music. How do we own our music? Make it yourself. Nice. And we're like, hey, that's what we're doing.
So, what are some of the programs that Touch owns that like are trying to help grow the community a little bit bigger?
Well, as far as like the dancing community, we've what was it, 2011, I think, 2010, end of 2010, we started the franchise product where, you know, because we can't be everywhere all the time, we create choreographies and then we sell it to local people, local directors, local instructors that want to teach their community. Gotcha. I mean, it creates, making a choreography is difficult, especially when you don't have the experience. So we give you the choreography. The second part is now the director and the instructor, studio owner, whatever, gets training from us technically because we send the videos to them. So it was just an all-around way to help grow dance or bachata, our style.
Okay.
To whoever wants it, like even if it's a small town that has no access to any other classes, so now that's a way for them to get some kind of training. And that we started end of 2010. That's definitely a genius part from Rudy, because at first, I mean, when you got to think about it, artists are artists, and then you have business people, and it's very tough to find artists that also have the business mindset. And in the beginning, I do know when he suggested doing the Extraño as a DVD.
So I not to cut you off, I do remember that because me and Tanya came into this super very like
just
what we heard other people do. For instance, when we first started taking workshops, a lot of artists were like, "Don't post my stuff." Like the videos after the classes, like don't post.
Or some of them wouldn't even allow you to
I've
take
heard
it
that before too. And
this was a heavy at the beginning because a lot of people were trying to like hold on to their stuff. So we were built into that. So when Rudy first presented, you should do a instructional DVD to Te Extraño and let the world do it. We were like, no, bro, that's ours. So we were very, very small-minded, very protective. So he opened us up to that.
I think that's like an old school mindset.
Yeah.
I remember who was it that was telling me like like back in the day, like in the club, like, like people were like, they had a lot more people had their own styles, and like, if you were to do like someone else's footwork, they'd be like, yo, that's my move.
Yeah, exactly.
You
like,
just
this
copy
is
my
mine.
move.
But the thing is like what artists forget is everything is borrowed from everything. Salsa definitely is borrowed from jazz, all this other stuff. Like, everything's just a fusion. So when we did the DVD, we finally we're like, all right, fine, let's do it. And the thing is we didn't need to be scared of anything.
Sure.
Like, it's not like somebody's gonna learn the choreography and then a Congress is gonna hire that couple instead. Like, you're gonna hire the original people, obviously.
It's like, we gonna get that guys from Iowa, dog.
Exactly. What? But it was just not logical thinking. And then when he brought up the franchise product, we were definitely more open to it. We're like, all right, we'll see how it works. And
it made sense because the reality was he was like, McDonald's, Burger King, all these people.
Okay.
It happens. People, that's how you get your product to the world. And then that's when he basically said, look, what do people want? They want you. They can't have you all the time. So how can we provide that? Initially, I remember we wanted to do dance studios. So we were going to go that route. We were going to be like, I want to dance studio here, I want to dance studio there. But we just realized that was going to be too much,
too many logistics
and this, that. And so he was like, let's make it easier. Dance teams.
Yeah.
You guys build the choreographies. We send that choreography out everywhere. And literally in 2011, no one else was doing it.
All right.
We just tried it.
You guys have different tiers of the franchises?
So, well, we had quite a few, but I think we cut it down because obviously throughout the years we kind of figured out, okay, what works. So we have like a beginner team, which is a performance team. We have co-ed, which is like intermediate
A little bit higher level.
We used to have Nuevola, which was more advanced, but we found that the intermediate advanced
I just
level
pushed it. I pushed the main one a little bit higher level and then took that semi-pro team out because it wasn't financially enticing for other people to have.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then now we have a ladies team and a men's team. And then we also have University Touch, which is, for the university students that are already struggling, trying to afford school and eating. So we give that out for free. So that's one way that we're also trying to help the community. Like, we don't want to charge for everything if it's not necessary. And especially college students, we're like, look, you guys want to learn? They have their Latin club, so we just give it to them. They get the season prior. So like if we're working on a current season, we have the dance schools that are doing that, and then university gets the season from before for free.
And that way they can practice that.
They can practice it.
How do they sign up for that? Is that on your website or something?
Yeah, so if you're, when people go to our website, which is islandtouchdance.com, they go there, and then we have like a little tab for touch teams. Yeah, touch teams, and they can register for it. So if there's a university guy or girl out there that wants to do some touch, go on the website.
All right. Well, who are some people you guys look up to?
I look up to Rudy.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
like number one. That's our mentor.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we go like one, I look up to Rudy and Tanya because we've been together. I think more importantly, one, and people always say this, they're like, it's teams don't necessarily, like there was like
partnerships
like,
business
and business don't ever work. And it's like, I just love the fact that through Rudy and through Tanya, we've literally been together from the entirety of this this company, and we live together. We still make it happen. We still growing. We're still doing this, and that's literally through the friendship and the business partnership that we've had since the beginning. So from the beginning, we've been partnered, like friends and partners, and we've made it work. So that's really to me inspiring that two people can help this trifecta make happen. So obviously number one, my two inspirations are these two, right? And then I think we always get like my parents and my family and this is that. But I think if we go fun fact, one thing, there's two people specifically that inspired me to start dancing, which were Juan Matos and Oliver Pineda. So Juan Matos and Oliver Pineda were the two guys that I started watching dance salsa initially, where I was like, I need to be a mixture of these two.
Yeah.
Oliver Pineda was smooth as butter. Like, he was just smooth, bro. Like, you just watch him dance socially, and you're like, dude, like, the girls are just, like, gliding. Yeah. Just so cool. Like,
so fly,
he just had dope stuff, whatever. And Juan, to me, was just that showmanship. I was just like, I loved his swag. I loved his, like, he dressed well.
Yeah, he did.
He had that Dominican swag. And he was creative.
Like that.
And I was like, if I get that,
and he doesn't have to do much. He just like this, and you're like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So I saw him with all those tattoos all the time. I'm like, I gotta get tattoos. That's what happened, man. I'm like, yo, this guy had tattoos. I want to be a salsa dancer.
Straight up,
get more tattoos.
Those are literally my two, man. Like, those are the two guys got me into dancing, and literally Rudy and Tanya were the ones that inspired me to just these two truly have like pushed me to my limits, like creatively, everything. So I would say those are my inspirations.
Aww, you're my inspiration.
Oh, I love you, baby.
No, he's like one of the hardest workers I know. So as far as like work ethic wise and what it means, like, he's super inspiring when it comes to, you get the job done regardless. You can have 20 minutes of sleep in a 24-hour period and still work. And Rudy obviously is a mentor when it comes to business. Dance inspirations that I had when I first started was like Edie the Salsa Freak. We talked about her earlier.
Love you, Edie.
Yeah. She was amazing. We used to watch her VHS.
You gotta love that VHS, dog.
That was amazing. All those tapes. I used to watch her and Luis Vasquez with
Principe.
Oh my God, what is his name?
That's the LA guy, right?
I mean, there was a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jobs. Yeah.
Yes. Joey Brava. Sorry, Joey. So I watched those two, Joey, Edie, Melissa Fernandez when she was around. I remember when she used to spin with her head up. That was the first time I saw that. I'm like, I gotta learn how to do that. The coffee grinders, all that stuff. And then like as I grew dance-wise, Grisel Ponce.
Yeah.
That woman. Like, and she's still, like, I still see her on Instagram and stuff in her classes, and I know she's been, like, in and out of the game, but she still looks amazing, and she can walk on stage, and she takes up that entire space. I love her, Tamara, Carol Flores. She's a little pocket person, but she also takes a lot of space.
I took one of her classes one time. It was all girls and just me, and I'm like, man, this woman got a big personality. And I'm the only dude here.
That's probably
she's strong. She's strong.
That's the biggest, smallest person you're
for real, man.
Yeah. But she's like
powerhouse.
She's awesome just as a woman and what she's doing, but also as a dancer. Like, she knows her stuff, and she researches, and she goes to class, and she always betters herself as well. She's not like one of those instructors that's just like, okay, I'm already at the top and now I don't need to do anything else. Like, she still continues in her growth. So that's inspiring.
Yeah, some people love that grind, man. She be in her classes. She's like a drill sergeant,
she's
dude.
Intense, man.
Dude, she's like, leave your ego at the door.
Yeah.
Has a deeper voice than me.
She's pitbull. She's pitbull.
All right. So, another thing I want to talk to you about is your show.
Hey.
Oh, our show. Oh, my Rudy show that's coming up.
I want to hear about it.
That one.
I want to hear about it.
All right, so the first time we haven't completely launched it yet, but we're in the works. But the first.
I apologize for all this.
No.
We've been
talking about it.
We want people to know.
Well, now you gotta do it though.
Hey,
you gotta get on that.
So it's gonna be called We Talk Dance. So it's gonna be Rudy and myself, kind of like a setup like this, just talking about dancing and just having conversations about like what's going on in the dance scene and things like that, and interviewing men and women in the scene. But the first technical show that we did was at our festival in Tampa last year, and we had like a round. Well, we didn't necessarily have a round table, but we called it the Queen's Edition. So we just had like a bunch of our,
which was dope. It was
awesome.
So awesome. It was a Queen's Edition. So.
Queen's Edition.
Yeah,
all right,
so it was
all right.
like
We're gonna have
it
to dig deeper into that. Hold on. Queen's Edition. What happened?
So basically, with that one, it was we had Isabel Freiberger, we had a toy. We had Candy Mena, we had Desiree Godsell, and Bianca, I think we had on the panel. So it was them, and then Rudy and myself. And, you know, we asked some questions regarding the scene, and very much trying to get the perspective of the women in the scene when it came to either partnerships, how they're viewed in a partnership, how they're treated maybe in a partnership from either their partner or from a promoter standpoint. How do they handle it? Some questions that came up. Okay, how do you handle being a professional dancer and having kids and not being in the normal dancer body that people want you to be, and maybe you're a little bit thicker, and how do you handle that? How do you think there's a double standard with costumes depending on the body type? Like, there was a lot of questions geared towards the females in the dance scene.
Yeah.
And I think really started a conversation, and it was awesome because those queens also at the end, after the festival is over, they kept talking about it online. Like, a toy posted a bunch of stuff, Desiree, Isabel, like it was nice. It was a nice way to start conversations.
Nice. So that was I guess the first for We Talk Dance.
Yes, exactly.
And,
so now,
and now the continuation of it?
Now the continuation, Rudy and I are sitting down, and I think I'm not going to say who we're going to interview this.
Hey, yes, don't do that. Stevie, y'all going to have to watch it, yo. She ain't going to tell y'all.
But the first one we're hoping is going to be in the next couple of weeks, that we'll be able to get together and do a show. And I think the goal is to start out maybe like once a month, and then work out, because I mean we're still traveling quite a bit throughout the week.
It's like we're working 80 hours a week, so now we're gonna step it up to 90.
Yeah. Who needs sleep?
Who needs sleep? We'll sleep when we're dead.
Yeah, hello.
We got coffee, yo. Come on.
Inject it right here. But yeah, that's the goal, to just to have, you know, something. I mean, you're doing an awesome stuff with interviews and things like that, and just. It's something different, I think, and Rudy and I get along really, really well, and we love talking, so.
I might even get like my own little fashion, you know how they go like, and now for the weather. Hey! So we may actually, have some like fashion segments, because obviously for those, you know, that know I really, really enjoy fashion and hats and stuff like that. So there's going to be a lot of connections into that. So I might even have my own little part, you know. Like, and now we're going to pass it into Ataca with the fashion corner.
Yo,
I like that.
The first time I ever sent you a message, I was on Instagram like, yo, that has dope. Hey, yo, can you get me a coupon code for this? That's the first message I ever sent you. I'm like, and you're like, what hat? You never got
hat, man. It's
you got a lot of hats.
It's a problem, bro.
You don't even know.
It's a problem.
The amount of let's just say he has a bedroom that's his closet.
Yeah.
I have a closet that's my closet. He has a bedroom that's his closet.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a good problem.
That's what I want. That's the type of problems I want.
Goals.
Hats. That's too many hats. All right. So, is there anything you guys that we missed that you would like to let me know, let the world know?
I mean, I would just say a couple of things. You know, we're continually, you know, adding new components to the InTouch repertoire. Obviously, the music right now is the current new thing, so I recommend everyone to go right now, get our first single, which is called Volvió. You guys can find it on all digital platforms, Spotify, iTunes, etc., etc. And that's literally just the beginning. Like, I think the team in general is just really excited to kind of present this to the world. It is, you know, music that we enjoy. Again, you know, this is our first, you know, kind of go at it where we're all singing, and I think this is literally just the beginning. We have some other ideas. So go support. Please go buy Volvió, and as soon as the EP comes out, buy the entire thing. We love all the songs. They're so awesome.
Yeah.
Other than that, We Talk Dance, to extend off of that, we are also going to be doing a lot more virtual stuff. For instance, we're going to be offering virtual private lessons, virtual like coaching, etc., where people can basically get a private with us from our home and from their home. So that they can find information on our website right now on InTouchDance.com. We have online classes.
Okay.
It's IslandTouchOnline.com, where they can learn new cool moves, styling, turn patterns, footwork right now from the comfort of your own home. IslandTouchEvents.com. Come check us out, man. We do some really dope events, man. Like Chicago's a monster, Tampa's dope, Bachata is just Bachata. And there's just so many other things that we want to do.
World Mastery.
World Mastery.
World Mastery.
Yeah, so World Mastery is a place for anyone at an advanced level that wants to take their dancing to the next level. Predominantly, maybe more instructional, like to like start teaching. We have this super in-depth Island Touch certification, where they can go on World Mastery and take this online. You would be certified on the Island Touch methodology. Gotcha. And then you can go out with a certificate and start teaching our methodology. And I think that's about it. There's a bunch of different things. I think that's pretty much it.
I'm trying to remember everything.
There's it. But they can literally find everything on our website, YouTube channel, our social media platforms, etc.
I'll get the links. I'll try and look for them and post them down here.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, hey.
You guys have any questions for me?
So are you officially Bachata Steve, Salsa Steve, or are you Salsa Bachata Steve? Like, what's up? I mean, today you took a bachata class and you did very well. So my question to you is like, is it safe to say that you are Salsa Bachata Steve?
It's rubbing off on me.
That's what's up.
I like dancing a little bachata with my girl. You get tired from all the salsa and the footwork.
Listen, we are still salseros at heart. We love salsa. So I'd be skipping away and dipping out to them salsa rules, man. I need to get my little mambo on.
Just like you like the strings, dude, I like the xylophone when a good mambo comes on.
Nice.
Dude, I love that instrument. Man.
Yeah, bro.
I used to play that.
The timbales. You used to play that?
In school, yeah. That was like I think I get that from my mom. My mom loved that instrument. I'm like, it sounds cute. The big wooden one, yeah.
Alright, so Salsa Bachata Steve it is. That's it. We conformed.
He's like, damn, now it's on camera.
Now it's on camera. No, they're all gonna ask me. Alright, and last question. Do you have any tips or for like up and coming dancers or just someone that's beginning dancing? Something you wanna just tell them?
Yes. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Don't cut the corners. I know it's very, very easy to assume and to think, and social media plays a big role, and you guys see certain things, and just utilize all the components around you, but don't cut those corners, man. Like, take your classes, take your privates, learn, get your foundation, and then utilize the tools in front of you. Yes, social media is a key component to that. Study, take some courses, learn how to utilize social media to help benefit yourself. But again, just don't cut them corners. Like, I guarantee the work at the beginning is going to pay off, but you got to put the work in at the beginning. That's all I ever tell people. People are like, yo, how do I do this? Take your classes, practice, go out there, social dance, create like, one tip for men's social dancers. Sometimes like, yo, Ataca, when I go out social dancing, I forget my patterns.
Okay.
Because you're going into the social dance trying to do everything you ever learned. And you're gonna literally blank out. So my advice to you guys is whenever you guys go out social dancing, go out there with a plan. Go out there with 3 to 4 turn patterns that you're gonna do the entire night with every single girl.
That's beautiful, dude.
And that's it. That's your go-to for that night. And then the next night, do 3 to 4 more. Until it becomes second nature, where they just come out naturally. It happens to me now. Like, I have so many things in my head. Sometimes if I don't go in with a plan, I blank out. And I'm just like, what's going on? So now even me at my level now, I still go out there with a couple turn patterns. Like, I'm going to do these tonight. These are my go-to. And then obviously since I have a repertoire, when I go to my go-to, the other ones just come out naturally.
Nice.
They trigger all the other ones.
Nice.
So that's my tip to everyone. Don't cut them corners. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Take your time, enjoy the music, learn the steps, and have fun. Number one is have fun.
Yes.
That's what I was gonna say.
Have fun.
Yeah, it's have fun and remember why you're dancing. I mean, a lot of us go into dancing because we want something different in our life. A lot of us are professionals. We're just trying to like release and don't allow the scene, because I mean, there's gonna be drama everywhere. And the dancing is no different. There's people and personalities and characters. So don't allow the scene to stress you out.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people that go into the scene and then drama happens and they're like, screw it. And then they leave and then they're miserable. Because what they really love is dancing. It's like, don't let it affect you. Still have fun. Just don't hang out with those people. The scene's big enough for you to not have to hang out with those people anymore.
Yo.
And just remember why you started in the first place and then continue.
That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah.
It's not the scene. It's just that person.
Yeah, it's
sure.
just that person.
That person was just not your person.
Yeah.
For sure. And I think
Move on.
you know, now that I think about it, now that we have you guys, like to me, and I tell this to as many people as possible, is stray away from the titles. Do you have your style, right? Like choose a style of music you like and dance that. But let's just get away from the descriptions and the division. Like the reality is just be an adaptable dancer. You know, have a style that you can dance to every single bachata. And if you have a style or a move that can only be done to a remix or a modern but can't be done to a traditional, well then maybe you gotta just, you know, figure it out.
Yeah.
But I tell people all the times, like when people ask me, Ataca, what style of dance do you dance? Bachata. No, but what style? Bachata. Oh, but you're more Dominican. It's like, nah, what's all Dominican to me? But, you know, if a traditional song comes on, I'm going to be a little bit more traditional, a little bit more Dominican, you know, that. If a modern song comes on, I'm probably going to be a little bit more connective, maybe some more turn patterns, more footwork. And if a remix comes on, I'm probably going to be singing a lot of the time. You know what I'm saying? So I always tell people, be more of an adaptable dancer, and that's it.
Post Malone comes on. I fall apart.
You already know, bro. That's my advice. That's our advice.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for
thank
coming.
you.
It means so much to me.
I appreciate it, man. I'm happy we were able to make it happen, man.
Yeah, definitely. I was texting.
And guys,
blowing up in the DMs. Yo, you coming, bro? You coming?
my people, share it, you know, share it with your friends. Hopefully what you gathered from this interview helps you, and support the creative processes, man. Like people like Steve and other people that are doing these podcasts and stuff like that. It's like, you know, they care about the scene, and this is a lot of valuable information, not even just from us, but from everybody that you interview. Take some time to listen, sit down, have a coffee, and just listen to some stuff. Share, like, and comment.
Nice.
Share, like, and
Thank
comment.
you guys, and that's the episode.
Bye.